Hey everybody, welcome to the Agent is In. This is the Nick Anderson's Tab edition. It's less filling because it's a soft drink in a can called Tab. Actually, today we're gonna have Nick show us examples of using various functions that we have in the CFEngine policy language.
Yeah.
My name is Craig. I'm a digger. Nick Anderson is
Doer of things. And Cody.
Community guy.
All right.
And we've got Ula on here.
Herman's with us.
And I'm the product manager for CFEngine.
Huzzah. All right. Let's get out of this thing. Move that out of the way. Okay. So, functions. Well, first of all, this is probably not big enough for anybody to see but me. So let me boost this up. How's that? How's that?
That looks great.
Great. Okay. So, as some of you may know, I'm a big org mode user. And I like to have collections of lots of things and text and things to reference. And so I have my own examples for many CFEngine functions, but I noticed that I am not at 100%. I've got 31 functions that I do not seem to have an example for. So of these 31 functions here, I was gonna write myself a couple of examples and bring you guys along with me. So that's what I was gonna do. So I looked at this list here. They're not, some of them are kind of interesting, but require a bit more setup than I was prepared for today. But there's a couple here that are pretty commonly used, like reg list and reg line. I've used those quite a bit, but I don't seem to have examples for them. Also, read YAML, probably another one that we'll take a look at. So let's see here. Let's get started maybe with reg line. All right, so let's check out before we get too far. Whoop. I'm going to pull up the CFEngine documentation on functions. Is this big enough to see?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, great. Let's see here. So we're going to look for reg line.
Nick, I think I came up with an example for you to do with this.
Oh, great.
I don't know if we've already done it. Have you already inventoried the users with a no login shell?
No, I have not.
Okay, just a thought.
Yeah, great. All right, so let's look at this. The prototype here is regline takes two parameters, a regular expression and a file name to search. It returns Boolean, so you can use it in places that are looking for CFEngine classes. And it uses an anchored regular expression that matches the line of a line in file name. There is an example here in the documentation. Looks like this example is runnable. So I'm just going to grab this real quick and try this myself. All right, so let's see here. I want to regline Chrome capture. Regline. CFEngine example. And hop into here. Proxysnet IPv. I am running on a Linux host, so it'll be fine for me. Linux is going to say define this IPv forwarding class if the file contains just 1, and disabled if it contains just 0, and then it will spit out reports depending on those classes. So let's go ahead and just see what happens if I run this on my system. Come on, run it. Oh, IPv4 forwarding is enabled on my host. Probably because of a bunch of weird networking stuff that I'm doing. Okay, great. All right, so Craig, you were talking about using this to find no login.
Well, and then I looked at the function, it returns a Boolean, so then maybe that's not so interesting. I was thinking more of like a grep for no login, and it would return all the users, but I know you could do it with that, but with the red line, but maybe
Yeah, I mean we could do it with some other stuff. So let's see here. Yeah, that's bigger. Oh yes, I did. I told Herman that I would try to do something for him today, and that was that I would. It makes him nervous when there's not this like file tree on the side.
Yeah.
I don't know how to use it, but I told him that I would put it there. So it's there.
Another one, Nick, might be looking for something in like proc command line to make sure that like you have, a particular option set in your command line. That'd be another one, maybe. That would be a Boolean, right?
Okay. Let's see here. You know what? This just doesn't. Sorry, Herman. This just takes up space in my buffer, so I'm gonna remove that again. Okay. So let's come in here. All right. So what am I gonna search for, Craig? You said you want to look at in proc command line. What do I have in proc command line?
Like you could maybe you want to make sure that quiet is in there, so you don't get a lot of noise. I don't know.
Proc what PID?
No, like you just do CMD line. The Linux kernel command.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So like you've got quiet in there. Like
okay.
Interesting.
Quiet / read only.
Not that it's very important, but it's something.
Something to look for. Okay, that's fine. All right, so first thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to just put this example in here. All right. So classes. And then we're going to say have quiet boot. How about that?
Yeah.
All right. And this will be based on an expression that uses regline, which takes anchored regex and a file. Okay, and then we're gonna say cars. How about some vars? All right, so let's see here. Let's say anchored regex. Oops. And this is going to be a string that is, so it's automatically anchored, starts at the beginning. So anything up to a space at least once with quiet, and then a space pluses. Oh, I'm so bad. Is that 0 or 1 or more? I think I want star. 0 or more in case it was at the end. That sound right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, and then we're gonna say file is gonna be string proc DLN. Okay. And let's just drop this in here. And then if we have quiet boot, we're gonna say have quiet in boot. And then we can even do proc CMDLN. Come on, come back to me. Okay. And then we can do print file. Back. At. Works if I take out this. So the cat print file body, let's see here, is part of the standard library. I pull this up, it's in lib reports. Yeah, print file cat. So this is the implementation of that body print file cat, and then it just prints all of the lines in the file. Makes it really easy to look into a file. We also have head and tail, you know, the common stuff. Okay, so let me get rid of that. Okay, so that looks right.
You have a couple of misspellings there.
It wouldn't be my policy. It wouldn't be my typing.
You put in your internet username for the file there.
Oh. Yeah, well, you know, CMDLI.
Yeah, you know.
How about that?
Very good.
Same thing here. I guess I wasn't dry. I could have used the variable for that. Well, okay. Oh, I did. It was file. Better. Better deal there. Okay. So down here, now I'm gonna run this and take a look at what we got. Oh, I did not have quiet in have quiet boot. What did I do wrong? Ah. Maybe. There we go. Just needed to fix the regular expression. It was looking for quiet with a leading space and then maybe a space. So it was at the end of the line. So we can see down here that we did have quiet in booty body. Okay, let's try that again. Boom, body command line arts. Okay, cool. All right, great. So now I have an example for reg line. When I make my examples, I have all these different backlinks. I use org roam to helps me kind of find things that are related to each other. So I keep track of the functions that I use. Function reg line. So there's no target for that yet. So I'm just going to make a target because things just link to it. And then I go to that thing and find those things. So any other functions that I used here? Nope. That was the only function. Okay. And then I also do the same thing for promise types. So roam insert. And then I'm going to say promise type classes. And roam insert. Promise type vars. Roam insert. Come on. Promise type reports. Okay. All right. So I'm done with capturing that one. So let me save that. Roam DB sync. Give me just a second to synchronize my database. 90. Churning. So org-roam uses a SQLite database to keep track of all these generated IDs and then be able to tell you which nodes link to which other nodes and find your back references and so on. This is one of the slower index rebuilds that I've seen, though. Of course, that always happens to me live. Well, you know what? Is it going to give it back? Yeah, there we go. All right. So let's see if I run my thing here. This just runs like some recursive search and uses the syntax description output from CF promises and then searches through all my files to look for each function that's in the language description. So here we go. Now we're down to
disappeared.
Yeah, Regline disappeared. So good deal. Why is my cursor not responding? There it is. Okay, so Regline. All right, so reg list. Let's do this one. Roam capture reg list. CFEngine example. All right, so before we get going too far there, let's look it up. So regline, reg list. Okay, reg list takes two arguments, a list and a regular expression. It also returns Boolean and returns whether the anchored regular expression regex matches any item in the list. This sounds awfully similar to the sum function, which takes a regex and a list in the opposite order and returns whether any element of the list matches an unanchored regular expression. Okay. So anchored versus unanchored, but we're doing this one. All right, let me get that out of the way. And so I need a list of things to search for. So how about, unless somebody's got an idea, Cody, a little small there. Let me make this bigger. Craig, Herman, Nick. Okay, and let's see here. So this dot namespace, this dot bundle, view, and I can't spell, bundle, bundle dot names. Matches the has at least one element matching unanchored regex. And so we'll come into here and then we'll do unanchored regex. What should we search for here, Craig?
I was thinking things that start with the letter C.
Things that start with the letter C. Okay, so this is unanchored, so I would need to anchor it to the
Which
start of
one?
the line.
Which one are you doing? Are you doing reg list or some?
Reg list.
Reg list.
Some is not on my list. I have some
Reg
examples.
list is anchored.
It is?
Yes.
Oh, you're right. It is anchored. Okay, so
Move
it's
to
anchored. So we
Yeah.
can just say C.
Right.
Oh, actually, we can do case insensitive C, and then anything.
Yeah.
And then we'll do this if reg list names matches unanchored regex.
And then do a replace for un to nothing. You know, so it says anchored. See, look at that good add command you just ran.
I know, right? I mean, I could have done, okay, all right, fine. Let me back up.
You're good, you're good.
No. I'm gonna do
Oh.
it a fancier way.
Editors.
I know, right? Unanchored. So I'm gonna, boom, okay.
Very nice.
There, different way to do the same thing. All right, great. Okay, so terminate that. So here, right, we didn't set a class with it. We're just using it in place of where you would set a class. It's useful to actually set a class with it if it's like a condition that you're going to reuse over and over. But if it's something you're going to use just like once, then you can just have the function do it on the fly. Okay. I think maybe also we can prove it out. We can just emit it. Let's do this with join names. And then we'll say names. Run it. Nope. If reg list names anchored regex, how come? Did I not specify this right?
Not sure about that.
Yeah, there we go. Case insensitive search for names that start with C. And if we were to change this to H, yeah, works. If we change it to Z, give me function Z. Nope. Okay, great. Works. So we're gonna have this, and then better make a comment. Emit report if at least one element of the list starts with C, case insensitive. I can't believe I spelled that right. Okay. Let's go up here and do my linking, Rome insert. What am I doing here? Functions. So this would be join. That's in here, and you can see I already have a target for join, so I'll use that. Rome insert, and then we'll do function reg list. And this is the CFEngine note that I will create a target for. Great. And promise types, Rome inserts, promise type vars, insert. Come on. Promise type reports. All right. So let's save that. Come on, saving, writing bookmarks. Okay, and then let's make sure that disappeared from my list. Hello, reg list. Goodbye, reg list. Churn, churn, churn. Could probably write something more efficient for that. Okay, great. So that did that. Okay. So there was another one I was looking at here. Parse YAML. Somebody was asking about YAML the other day, and I realized I didn't have an example for this. Where did my cursor go? There it is. Okay, so how about parse YAML? Roam capture parse YAML. CFEngine example. Okay, so the other day, somebody was asking about this. Vars. Okay, so we need some YAML here. YAML is stored as a data var, which JSON is the reference spec, so we can do parse YAML. And then this was some example YAML that somebody pasted into the channel the other day. So let's take that. So first thing I want to do is make sure that the YAML there is legit. I'm pretty sure I've got to remove these leading spaces. There. And okay, so first thing I want to do is make sure that that works. So I'm going to do reports, and then I'll do with, and then I'll give with store JSON. Actually, yeah, I mean I can store JSON of some YAML. So store JSON, we can look at that one since I'm using it here. Store JSON takes a data container and then returns a string. So you end up with a JSON string. So if the YAML was good, so here's an example. This is, yeah, so it'll print out, JSON. So if this YAML is valid, it will print out the JSON equivalent. So let's make sure that works before we move forward. Okay, so that worked. Great. Now we've got some structured YAML, and so there's the parse YAML part. But they were asking questions about like how to access keys or subkeys and things like that. So you can get the top level keys as a list by using get indices on the data container. And
can you bump up your font there?
Oh yeah, sorry. Thanks for keeping an eye out.
Cool.
So top level keys you can get, let's see here. We can get the keys of like the sub keys of something. So we can do nesting keys. So YAML on nesting. And then we can get the keys of nesting, zero keys. Some way. Let's get indices. IN the IC indices on some YAML nesting. Doesn't look like level 0 is bumped in under that, but maybe we can make it that way. What did I do wrong here? Some YAML nesting level 0.
You need
INDIC.
indies.
Yes. Okay. So let's say that, and then come up here and do nesting. Nesting was null. I want to put that back. I think level 0 goes under nesting. That's right. I think that's what was intended. Yeah, there we go. And then I used the show evaluated vars option, so I didn't have to do reports just to see what these variable values were. You get this nice table printed out at the end with the different things that have been extracted. Okay, so bang out another example here. Let's see here. So let's fill out this stuff. Roam insert. Parse YAML. Yes, but I need to do function parse YAML. CFEngine notes. And get indices from insert. Get indices. I use anything else in here? I think that was it, right? Get in, store JSON. From insert. Did I hit enter? No. Whoa. Not that one. From insert. Or JSON, and then promise types, just vars and reports, from insert. Can't spell. From insert, promise type, reports. Come on. Give it to me. There it is. All right, so I got those. Great. Save this one. Come back up here and look at this one again. Make sure that it goes down to 28. And then let me show you how those backlink things work. Okay, down to 28. That's great. Okay, so from to synchronize so that I have my data 30, 40, 60. I don't usually have to synchronize so often because I'm not going back and forth, so it's not usually big part of my workflow. But for this, since I'm gonna look up exactly what I just did, I want to make sure I do that. And I have too many buffers open, as we were discussing earlier, to leave it with auto sync mode on. We can also have Cody's magical toast. Churning, churning, churning. Here we go. Saving. Processing. Done.
Now, someone asked a question about these functions. Okay.
Yes. Now somebody asked a question about these functions. Yes. Roam, find. So first thing, what was one of those?
Reg line.
Huh?
Reg line.
Reg line. Roam, node, find, reg line. Roam, find. Come on. Function, reg line. Yeah. So now I can hop to the reg line function, and there's, yes, it's too small for anybody to read except for me. I forgot. Okay. And there's nothing here, right? This is the thing that I backlink to. But from here, I can do roam buffer toggle. And now I can see all of the files that use the reg line function, which are linking to this function node. And there I can find the example that we just worked on. So if I go back over here, and if I do roam find get indices, I use this one quite a lot. I had some forward links here. Roam buffer toggle. Oops. Roam buffer toggle. I hit enter, yes. And now I can see all of these, yes, all of my different examples that use get indices. So I can always sift through and look for, yet another example of using some function, which maybe is novel compared to what I thought of using it for then. So I think it's super great, obviously. Okay, so there's that. Where are we on time?
We should probably wrap up pretty shortly.
All right. Well, then I will leave it there unless there are any questions about the stuff that we just worked on, or if you have a question about another function, feel free. Going once, going twice. Okay, no questions from the peanut gallery. So I guess that's gonna be it for today. I did have, I don't know, I've got one more that we could look at. I had like several different ways of stripping something from a file name, which is kind of interesting.
Maybe a part 2.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see if people liked this session, and then we come back with a part 2. And I do have something that I had done recently, which was just kind of fun, like showed several different ways of doing something with different functions. So all right, thanks everybody for coming. Like, subscribe, support us on all the social media.